Welcome Knightline Live with your hosts Jerry Middleton and Rick Fletcher. Knightline Live is filmed in front of a studio audience.
Welcome everybody, it's Monday night, this is Knightline and we're live. My name is Rick Fletcher. Jerry Middleton couldn't make it here tonight, but we do have a guest, and that's Jeff Matthews. Jeff, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Glad to be here.
For those of you guys, a lot of you guys probably know Jeff. The reason he's here, he's an old nemesis from Union County from years ago, but he's done some wrestling with us on the Knights Broadcasting Network, and he's going to work on the baseball sectional. We'll talk about baseball later, Jeff. You and I are going to break that down, spend some time on that.
Okay.
But it's that time of year. We've got sectionals going on last week, sectionals going on this week. There's a lot going on in sports, so we're going to get right into it. Hey, this is the last show of the year. It's hard to believe. I can remember, Jeff, you weren't here. We used to tape this show. Jerry and I used to come in on a Saturday or Sunday, tape this show, and we decided September 5th of last year we went live. And we've been doing it live ever since. And hey, we're still here. They haven't thrown us out of here yet.
No, it's been good. I watch it.
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate you coming. I really do. Now, I understand you're not well versed in all the things that Northeastern is doing, but that's probably going to change in a couple of years because you got some grandkids that go to Northeastern.
I do. The older family is. That's my son-in-law and my daughter.
Wes Soler, football coach here at Northeastern.
Football coach is my son-in-law. And they have 4 children. Macy's the oldest. She'll be an 8th grader next year. And I actually wore a Northeastern T-shirt for her at her last basketball game.
Yeah. Did it hurt?
It didn't hurt. It turned out it didn't hurt at all.
You do anything for your grandkids,
Grandchildren,
right?
They take priority.
Absolutely. So, Jeff, welcome. We appreciate you
Thank
coming.
you.
And really looking forward to baseball this year. Well, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but we're learning how to broadcast baseball. We've done basketball and we've done wrestling. You've been on a wrestling broadcast at that regional at Richmond. We'll do that again next year, I'm assuming. We'll also do sectionals again. And it's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. It's good for the kids, too.
Good for the kids. And that's what we always tell people, Jeff, is the reason we do this is we do it to showcase the kids, okay?
Yes.
The students. You got a lot of going on right now. You got seniors, and we're going to honor some seniors in various sports, but they're in the middle of getting ready for graduation. They've got graduation parties. They got sectionals, trying to win championships here. That's a full plate right there.
Adulthood.
Yeah, adulthood's right around the world. And again, we're going to honor some seniors here, and we got a lot to talk about. But first thing I want to talk about is golf. The Knights were at Highland Lakes. It was actually not their home tournament, but this was the TEC Championships that was hosted by Centerville. Centerville also uses that course as their home course. And we've talked quite a bit about golf this year, Jeff. Last year the Knights had a lot of seniors. This year they're a lot younger. They got a couple seniors. John Michael, he's been with them, and Grant Luby's also playing golf. Now, Grant's an interesting story there. He played probably the last 8 or 10 ball games in basketball with a sprained ankle, okay? And those things don't go away.
No.
And he was running track, but he just couldn't do it. So what he did is he asked Ryan Chalfant's the coach, if he could come play some golf, and they let him in. So now he's playing golf his senior year. So you know what? You got to do something, right?
Yeah, I like it. That's good.
Yep. All right. So let's go over some results here. The Knights. There's 9 teams in the TEC. I believe they all represented at the TEC Championship. First thing I got to say, Jeff, is when I woke up on Saturday morning, spring had left us.
It did.
It was chilly.
It was chilly and wet.
Yeah, wet. It rained quite a bit the night before. Now the sun had come out early in the morning, But I went out to the course. They started at 9. I was probably out there about 11:30. Dana Harris, and if you don't know Dana, he's with Dejo Photos.
I know Dana very well.
All right. Well, he was out there, and he took me out in his cart, so he was able to tell me, where everybody was. How these tournaments run is there's 5 golfers. Each school has 5 golfers, and I believe they take the top 4 scores out of the 5. And so that's how that goes. Knights came in 6th place. Hayden Shelfin, he's been their number 1 golfer all year. He's only a sophomore. He shot an 82. Centerville won that tournament. They're a strong team. They're an experienced team. So John Michaels, a senior, he shot a 90. Again, the seniors are John and Grant from this year. So congratulations to those guys. Now, Jeff, we're in the middle of sectionals, but not golf. Golf goes longer for some reason, and I don't know why that is. I don't think their sectionals are probably not till next week.
Right.
Or maybe even the week after, or maybe that's regionals.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
it is the latest of all the sports.
Yeah, and they'll go well after school is over. And, baseball, if you keep going, you go right into middle of, June or end of June or something like that. But, golf will start later. So they're busy. Again, we talked about these seniors. They're playing golf. They're playing their sport. They're in championship games, and they're getting ready for graduation. Maybe they got to finish up their college, whatever. They got a graduation party that their parents are putting on for them. So there's a lot going on. We had a chance. What we did is we got some video. We like to run some video. Jeff, you're a rookie around here now, okay? So we're just going to coach you up, all right?
That's fine.
What we've discovered is I think the kids and the parents, they like to see themselves on the show, okay? Because we love it. I mean, I absolutely love it when we can bring kids either sitting in that seat right there, or we do a lot of interviews with them. It gives them a chance to spotlight them. And the other thing it does is it helps them with their public speaking skills, which is a good talent to have as they move forward. So, Nate, we're going to run that video here. So let's go ahead and run that montage. And this is TEC Golf for the most part. There's a few other things put in there also. And then after that, we're going to go hear from our sponsors. And we come back. We'll get into tennis because they also had their sectionals last week. So you're watching Knightline, and we're live.
KOA Exit 151A, registration and the general store. It's a family-owned campground with pull-through parking for RVs or travel trailers with full hookups. Rent a cabin, relax at one of the fire pits, or picnic by the pond. A playground for the kids, or get in around the golf before dinner. Take a water-soaking hayride, lay out by the pool, and then take a dip.
Feet has a way of testing a man's soul. After all, you were never meant to take on such an endeavor. That long drop is what separates human from superhuman. That fear is the only enemy, the only thing keeping you from feeling that power in your bones. And here we are, right here, right now. Let's fly.
You're good at motivation, we're good at your insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
At Kate's Family Eye Care, we value a family-friendly atmosphere, offering high-quality eye exams. Our expert staff utilizes the latest techniques in eye care. We have a large selection of affordable glasses that are unique to our area. We are proud supporters of the Northeastern Knights and wish all the teams the best of luck.
Go Knights!
Coming together every day to make a difference for you, for me, and everyone in between. Because at Dot Foods, when we celebrate each other's differences and work together to make the community a better place, we become great together. At Dot Foods, what matters to you matters to us, where communities matter. Dot Foods.
Dreaming of having more space? With a mortgage from First Financial, you're golden. We keep things simple with friendly, personalized service from application to closing. We'll help you find the right mortgage loan to fit your unique needs. Plus, you can qualify for relationship pricing with an eligible checking account. And since we live in the communities we serve, you can count on our local knowledge to make sure the pieces fall into place for an on-time closing. So stop dreaming and start moving with First Financial Bank.
First! Welcome back to Knightline. I think I should say before we move on, good luck to the seniors as they pursue life and whatever they're going to do, and good luck as they move forward into sectionals and hopefully, maybe at least for some of them, beyond that. We'll see what happens. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about girls tennis, Jeff. Their season came to an end last week in the sectionals. Before we discuss that, though, we like to honor our seniors around here the best we can. So I put together a little video to honor the seniors. Let me tell you who they are. We got Alicia Bird, Chloe Cook, Grace Todd, Cadence Wright, and Hannah Abney. So to honor those fine young ladies, let's go to that video right now, Nate. All right, we're back, and I'd like to say this about the senior girls. Good luck to them. They're going to move on in life to wherever they go. Some will go to college, some will go to work, and who knows? You know, you never know. Maybe they'll come back in 10 years and they'll want to do something like what we're doing here, Jeff.
Maybe.
So we'll never know. All right, so the sectionals were at Richmond last week, and the Knights had 2 matches. How sectionals work is odd to me. All right, I don't know a lot about tennis, but you can move on as a team. But a lot of sports you can move on as an individual, like wrestling you're familiar with, okay? But also we have something going on in the background here, Jeff. This is live.
Sounds
We're
like
live.
the radio, yeah.
Yeah, we got that. All right, so we got that in the background is a walkie-talkie. We'll see if that's going to go on. Our executive producer is taking care of that. Yeah, so... hey, sometimes these things go off the rails, Jeff, and
that's minor. That's minor.
and we can get to laugh about it later.
Rodney, if you're watching, somebody's trying to get a hold of you.
Yeah, Rodney is actually he's one of the guys that works at night here. He's very helpful, by the way. Okay, we love Rodney. He does a good job, and he's very helpful to us, and so we really appreciate him. So lost my train of thought.
So in the tennis world, they play team against team, and for the team to advance.
Yes.
But the number 1 singles player,
right,
and the number 1 doubles player team,
right,
if they're unbeaten in the sectional,
they
also move on in individuals.
Yes, which it was explained to me, and I guess it made sense. What they're trying to avoid was putting your true number 1 in the 3 slot, I guess, to try to get them to move on. I don't know, but that's how it works. If you're a 2 or a 3 single or a 2 doubles team, the only way you can move on is if the whole team moves on.
Correct.
Okay, so you knew that.
Yeah,
so
I've got a little bit of tennis. My daughter Jennifer and her husband Levi coached Union County for a while. So
okay, all right.
I know a little bit about tennis.
All right, I didn't realize that grizzled old Navy veteran.
You got to be well rounded down there in the small schools, right?
All right, so anyways, that's how it works. And the Knights, they played a TEC foe, Hagerstown, in the first match, and they won 3-2. Their number 1 is Lauren Lacey. She won her match. She was eligible if she could win the second match to go on as an individual. The one doubles team, that's Chloe. I can't remember who's on that. I know Chloe's part of that team, but they lost their match. So the only way they could move on is if the whole team moved on. Centerville, they handily beat the host team, which is Richmond. And so the next night we all came back out. It was a beautiful night. The sun was out. It was warm. The weather's actually been pretty good. And I've actually got a weather forecast for baseball coming up. We'll talk about that next when we talk about baseball. And I'm likening Centerville tennis to Yukon women's basketball from, say, 10 years ago. Or maybe even... when Gino Arion was been around, every year he had a team that was going to the Final Four, and it wasn't close. And at least in this sectional, I don't know what their winning streak is. I don't know how many, they've won, but they're always in the mix.
Yeah, their coach Randy Eckert has been doing it a long time, and he is producing outstanding tennis players, both on the boys and girls side.
All right, so let me ask you, you're a coach, you're an old-time coach. What does it take when you're in a program like that? What does it take to have continued success year after year? Because you got a new team every 4 years. Girls move on, they graduate. So
really get a new team every year.
Every year you got a new team because you're always losing seniors, and a lot of those are probably a big part of your team. So, as a coach, and you coach for quite a while at Union County, how does a coach instill that culture where they're year after year they're competitive and they're winning? What does it take?
It takes time.
Yeah.
And your time.
Yeah.
You have got to be there for the younger kids. You have to have coaches that are at that younger level that are teaching and doing things the way that your program is set to teach your big guys,
Right.
or your big girls.
So you have to replicate yourself.
You
in
do.
the younger kids.
You do, and you have to be involved with them, because you can't take a kid in high school, wrestling for example. If they
Right.
show up as a freshman to wrestle and says, "Hey, I want to wrestle," the chances of that individual turning out to be a state champion are slim.
Yeah. They're already behind
You
it.
know, they're behind.
Yeah.
They're behind.
So, and, you know, let's face it, coaches aren't highly paid.
No, you certainly don't do it for the pay.
Yeah. But you have to have a love for the sport.
Yes.
And that's what you find in all these coaches, no matter what school it's going to be here or any other school, is, you know, when you look at these coaches and they build successful programs, a lot of sweat went into sweat equity.
A lot of time. You're working on facilities. You're working on the program. You're involved with the younger kids, and I mean that's eventually what made me hang it up. I've got grandchildren now,
Yeah.
and I want to be there and watch them. I want to be grandpa.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know, that was the time when I had to.
Your grandkids are doing baseball, tennis, or whatever sports.
They're all
doing.
over.
They're
Multiple schools.
Yeah, yeah. So you've got. We'll talk about one of your grandkids later when we talk about track.
Yeah.
So you know that's what it takes, and that it appears to me that's what they got going on over at Centerville.
Yeah.
Is
They
you know
sure do.
they've got that continuity going on. But I want to give a shout out to Brandy Shekels. You know what? She's enthusiastic. She gives a lot of herself, a lot of her time into her programs. She's just well known around here, and she's just a great coach. She coaches girls tennis and boys tennis, and she'll also, I think she'll do like 4th, 5th, 6th grade basketball for girls. She did this year, wherever she needs to be.
Yeah.
Plus, she's a big Knights fan too. So, you know, Brandy, I want to, congratulations to you. Congratulations to those seniors. They're going to move on with life, and they're going to do various things. That was their final match in high school. The Knights, there's some younger kids coming up that are going to still be there. Like their number one, it was only a sophomore. That's Lauren Lacey. So she'll be coming back. So we'll look forward to her. All right, as we try to do a little video, and I did the same thing for the girls tennis team. This was mostly taken, not all, but mostly taken from the sectional over at Richmond. So we're going to go to that. Then I guess, Nate, we're going to go right to commercials after that. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's my executive producer telling us what we're doing here. All right, so let's go to that video just to show off the girls' tennis team. After that, we'll go to hear from our gold level sponsors. You're watching Knightline, and we'll be back after this.
assistance and you don't know where to turn, we can help. From fixing meals, medicine reminders, personal hygiene, rides to appointments, someone to talk to, and much more. Guardian at Home servicing all of Wayne County. All you really want is for your loved ones to enjoy life. Harmon sheds are custom built to your specifications and needs. But wait, there's more! Harmon sheds build privacy fences, decks for your pool, beautifully designed decks for all around your home, and detached pavilions. Let Joe and the crew do all the work, so all you need to do is relax.
With local BTV, it's easier than ever to view all that WCTV offers.
I can now stream local government meetings direct to my TV.
Now I can watch local programming right from my phone.
I can easily view recorded and live events on my computer.
With a few clicks on any device, you're ready to view WGTV Channel 11, WETV Channel 20, and WCTV Channel 21. With local BTV, you're able to stay entertained and informed.
This is Rick Fletcher. When my car needs repair, I take it to 715 Simharjan Parkway in Richmond, home of Knuckle Busters. With their ASE certified technicians, why would you go anyplace else? They repair domestic and imports, air conditioners to Z-bars. Knuckle Busters Auto Repair. Call 765-488-1470 and tell them to go Knights!
Hey there, my name is Gibson and I would love to invite you to LifeSpring Students. That's our youth group at LifeSpring Church, which is just south of Northeastern on 27, and we meet from 7 to 8:30 on most Thursdays, but the doors open at 6:30. It's a great way to get to know more about God, meet some friends, as well as get to know about yourself some more as well. Plus, it's a lot of fun. We usually have some basketball and dodgeball, along with some other activities, and if you want to know more, check out lifespring.tv/students.
Welcome back to Knightline. As we were on break, we're trying to get some updated softball scores because we're going to talk about softball in our next segment. But hopefully, before we're out of here, Jeff, maybe we'll have something to report. We'll know who the Knights play tomorrow night because that game, Eastern Hancock-Shenandoah, is going on right now.
Correct.
And the Knights will play the winner of that one. But we'll talk about softball. Dedicate some time to that because their sectional started tonight. But let's talk about what we're excited about is sectional 41 baseball. You're a veteran coach of that sectional. You've won that how many times?
4 times.
4 times. Okay, so you've had some success. Take some teams in there, and you probably had some teams that could have won but didn't. I'm assuming there's always those kicking around.
Yes.
I'd like to remind everybody that we are the Knights Broadcasting Network. We are going to broadcast every one of those games. It's going to be Jerry Middleton, and Jeff's going to be on the call with him. We're happy to have Jeff because, seasoned coach, you know what you're talking about. So that's what we're happy about.
I do now that I'm retired.
Nobody thought you knew that.
Questionable when I was actually coaching.
Nobody thinks you know what you're doing. You know how this goes.
I know how it goes.
That's part of the game. When you sign
is.
up to coach, you're going to hear it from somebody.
That is true.
And you just learn to live with it or deal with it, and everybody moves on. All right. Let's break down this sectional, Jeff. What do we got here? I mean, it's wide open. There's a lot of teams that could win this thing.
I think this is very wide open. I think your favorites, most likely Shenandoah. They have the best record.
Right.
Northeastern owns a win over them, however.
Right.
One of their 3 losses was to Northeastern. Northeastern's won 12 of the last 14 games, and they're probably the hottest team going into this sectional. Hagerstown is also
can never count out Hagerstown.
I mean, that's a 21-win Hagerstown team, and they play a very aggressive 2A schedule.
Yeah.
I mean, they're playing good teams. And Knightstown. I mean, the Knights open up with Knightstown, who beat them in the conference game. Now, that was back in April, and this is not the same Knight team.
Well, let me ask you that. If you're a coach, you're the Knightstown coach, does that give you an edge that you've already played this team once? Okay, yes, it was a month and a half ago, and the weather was cold. But does that give you an edge going into this sectional, or does it matter?
I don't think it gives you an edge at all.
Okay.
Because the one thing that you don't want is your kids overlooking somebody. Well, we beat them earlier. It's baseball.
Yeah.
And it's not who has the best record. It's not who's ranked the highest. It's who plays the best on that day.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And I really think Northeastern is playing well. They have the home field advantage, which in baseball isn't what people think. It's not that, in basketball they say, oh, it's worth 6-7 points.
Right.
Well, in baseball that's not true. It's the familiarity that you have. You're more comfortable at home, so your kids are looser.
Plus, you don't have to ride the bus.
True.
You've been on those buses. They're not comfortable.
No, especially when you got to go a long way.
Yeah.
But the winner of this it's all going to be pitching and defense.
Yeah.
And
which is typical for high school baseball. It all starts on the mound, and then it goes to the guys around him and on the defensive end.
Yeah.
And where does hitting come in, though? Hitting.
Well, it's situational hitting. So if you can get timely hitting and what I'm going to call productive outs. Let's say we got runners on second base and we got one out, okay? And your guy hits a ground ball to second and advances the runner to third. You made an out, but now you've advanced the runner. That's a productive out.
Right.
What we don't want is a ground ball back to the pitcher, ground ball to the shortstop that holds that runner there, and you end up with an out. It's those kind of things. I've got a runner on third, and I get the fly ball into the outfield with less than 2 outs.
Yeah.
That gives me a run.
Right.
A strikeout or a ground out to third or the pitcher, you're probably not going to score.
Yeah.
So if you're going to make those outs, make them productive. We call that situational hitting. I always played small ball. I was a small ball guy.
Well, small ball, you look at major leagues now, it's all hit the home run and launch angle and all that stuff that I think messes with a hitter's head, if you ask me. I don't know anything. But when you talk about high school baseball, and I've always thought that baseball for high school kids is the toughest sport, because you got to hit that little baseball, depending on how the pitchers can do and how they're throwing and what they're throwing. For a lot of high school hitters, just being able to hit that curveball is difficult. Recognizing it, number one, but hitting it is another thing. But pitching and defense.
Pitching and defense.
Yeah, it's who's on the mound and who's backing them up.
Yeah, and generally these kind of tournaments are won by how well your 3s and 4s perform.
Right.
That your number one, he's going to do his job. He can't pitch every inning.
Right.
We have pitch counts.
Yeah, pitch counts.
So in Northeastern's case, they're what they're wanting out of their other game that they're watching, because they're going to get the winner of Union County Shenandoah. Will Shenandoah pitch their one against Union County, or will they pitch off?
Yeah. Now, Union County has traditionally been a strong team, struggled a little bit this year.
They're struggling a little this year.
But
yes.
you look at, they've had some one-run games.
Lots of one-run games.
And, the Knights went up there and beat them by 1 run. It was a couple fielding errors that the Patriots.
They actually won in the top of the 7th. They punched 2 across to win by a run.
Yeah, and, really... So, that tells me anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
All right, so we're looking at the draw. I got it right here. The Knights have the first game. That's Wednesday night. Game time is 5:30. Okay, we'll be on the air probably around 5:15 or so with that. Knightstown, Northeastern. Knightstown's got a good, solid team. They've always had a pretty solid program.
That's a good program at Knightstown.
The Knights come in. They're 19-8. Best record they've had in quite a while. And they're hot, just like you alluded to that.
They're playing well.
On Thursday night, Shenandoah Union County, we got to think, Shenandoah's 20-3. They're probably, favored to win that game.
I would say they're a heavy favorite to win that game.
All right, so if you're Shenandoah or Knightstown or Northeastern, to get to that final championship game, you got a hard road there. Because number one, let's say you're the Knights, you got to beat Knightstown, who you lost to earlier in the year. Then you probably got to beat Shenandoah again. You beat them earlier in the year. That's a tough road right there.
It is.
So, in Shenandoah, when the Knights played them, that was early April. So you alluded to that earlier with Knightstown. Does that game mean anything?
Not really.
Yeah, it's a different ball game.
Doesn't mean much at all.
All right. Now, I would say let's talk about another team, Hagerstown, probably the preseason favorite. Coming into conference play and maybe even in the sectional, the Knights handily beat them twice in a row.
Beat them twice.
And that wasn't early in the season. That was just recently. So I got to ask you, Coach, are those games going to have an effect on this if the Knights get to play them?
It certainly will on the confidence side of the Knights.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna be pretty confident going into that game and play pretty loose.
Yeah.
On the Hagerstown side, that's fuel.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay.
They're going to have to be looking at that as a payback time.
Yeah.
And Hagerstown is a quality program. They have been a quality program for a long time through 3 coaches. This is Coach Hale's team now. I remember Jay. He pitched against me my first year.
Okay.
When he was at Hagerstown.
So he's just a young guy.
He's just a youngin'. Yeah. 1-1 against him, but he won the important one, the sectional title game in 06.
Well, if the Knights are going to win, and we'll talk about Northeastern for a second. Number one, I'm guessing, and I don't know this for a fact, you've got the White twins that probably going to do some pitching for you. You'll see Caden White, I'm sure. He's probably your number one. And his brother, Logan White, possibly 1A or 2. You'll probably see them. Which, not to get off the track, how do you determine? Do you throw your top guy in the first game? Are the Knights going to have to throw their top guy in the first game? Knightstown is a tough.
Here's what you don't want to do.
Yeah.
You don't want to not pitch your one and get beat and have your best arm set the bench and never throw a pitch in a sectional.
So
this is a state tournament. In order to be talking about Shenandoah and Northeastern, they've got to take care of Knightstown. So the answer, in my opinion, is I go with my ace.
You get that win. You want to
get the win.
Without the win, there's no
tomorrow.
No more talking. There's no more speculation. So you would go in a game like this, okay? You would go with your number one guy then.
I would.
All right. Now, what about Shenandoah Union County? Union County, they've had some great teams over the years, but this year's not. Their record it's been a struggle for them. So if you're Shenandoah, are you gonna throw your number one, or is that a decision? How do you break that down? And I have no idea how their pitching lines up.
In that situation, they've actually have 3. Shenandoah has 3 pitchers.
Okay.
That are pretty good. One of them, the senior, he's their best guy. And
you've got some stats.
Yeah, I got his name here. Dylan McDaniel.
Okay.
He's got a less than 1 ERA with 92 strikeouts. He's their one.
Oh, wow.
Probably the best pitcher overall in the sectional.
Okay.
But he can't pitch every game.
Right.
So they've also got another senior, Carson Brookbank, who's 6-2 with the ERA at 2, and a sophomore, Colin Ozenbaugh, who's 5-1. His ERA is 1.53.
Boy, those are tremendous numbers.
They are very good numbers. On paper, Shenandoah's pitching is the strongest of the bunch. So it'll be interesting to see what their coach does. In that scenario, I would most likely hold my 1 and pitch my 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And see where we go.
Well, it looks like they've got an option of several that you can feel pretty good about.
They do.
As far as that goes, and I feel like probably with Northeastern, I think they would feel pretty good about whoever they throw, in that first game and even that second game. But, we'll see.
And Northeastern been scoring a lot of runs.
They've been able to hit. But we've seen good pitching always does what to good hitting?
It shuts it down.
Shuts
Yes,
it down,
does.
especially on the high school level.
Yeah, good pitching does do that to it every time.
You run into a guy who's got a less than 1 ERA. There's a reason they're 20-3.
Yes.
And I'm assuming that guy right there is probably a big reason for that.
Yeah, the pitching scenario with, and of course in high school baseball there's a pitch count.
Yeah.
And you have to rest depending on the number of pitches you throw. So the kids that throw on Wednesday are probably not going to be able to pitch until the championship.
Right.
The kids that pitch on Thursday in that game,
yeah,
they're not going to be able to pitch until the championship game.
Right, and they'll monitor their pitching, and
Friday is the semifinals. So
right.
even if they held him back, they would have to limit him so that 2 days rest and he could be able to pitch in that championship game.
Well, that's an interesting, because it's only a 2 days rest between.
It's only 2 days rest.
So you really got to watch that pitch count if you want your guy if you want your number one to go into that championship game. And
that's why I said that it's usually the tournament's usually decided by your 3s and 4s.
Yeah, because they're going to have a lot to say on Friday.
They are.
On Friday, maybe even in the championship game.
They certainly are.
Well, the schedule is, again, Northeastern and Knightstown, they'll start it off on Wednesday night at 5:30. We always advocate you can watch, we're broadcasting, but you can watch the replay later, get to the field and cheer these guys on. They deserve it. So we'd like to see you all out there. Shenandoah, Union County on Thursday night at 5:30. Then the winners of that game will play 2 o'clock on Friday. And Hagerstown and Eastern Hancock, they both drew the first round bye. So they're going to go at 5 o'clock on Friday. And the winners of those games Monday at 1 o'clock on Memorial Day for the championship.
Correct.
And like we're saying, Jeff, it's anybody's ball game at this point.
I think it's going to be one of the more exciting sectionals, evenly matched in the state.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to it. Should be a lot of fun. We'll be there for every game, even if the nights don't go on. We've committed to doing every game of the sectional. Now I'm a homer. I want to see my team do well. I get nervous sometimes, but they're good, but they got to play well. And baseball's a funny game.
It is.
And what I've seen with our guys with the Knights, if they play clean defense, okay, they'll get some good pitching. But if they play good, solid defense, make all the routine plays, then they're going to be right in the mix, okay? If all of a sudden you're seeing 4 or 5 errors up on the board, it's going to be a struggle. And that would be for any team, really, Jeff.
Yes, it is.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to it Wednesday night. I got a weather forecast. I've seen nothing but sunshine and 75 or 80 degrees, Jeff.
Yeah, perfect weather.
I would suggest to bring your coat, though, just in case. It does get breezy in that press box.
I'm hoping the wind's blowing out.
Yeah.
I'm sure Coach Baker's not.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see it blowing out.
Well, then those balls will be flying, because when the wind blows here, it blows, and it definitely helps the ball. So, hey, it's at Northeastern. The field looks great. I know the guys have been working on it to bring it up to sectional, condition. So we'll see. Looking forward to it, Jeff.
I'm excited.
Looking forward to the call. All right, we're going to take a break, our final break here. We're going to hear from our gold level sponsors. You're watching Knightline, and we are live.
You've had a hard day at work, and all you want to do is sit in your lounge chair in the nice cool air? Then it hits. The AC's not working. The living room feels like the Sahara Desert. Call Reynolds Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. In just a short time, it'll be nice and cool. And then all you'll need is a sign that says, "No penguins allowed." Call 765-966-0994. Reynolds Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Proud sponsors of the Knights. Did someone say boom, baby? Call Scaretti Pyrotechnics at 765-977-2757. Scaretti Pyrotechnics has performances for birthdays, weddings, school athletic events, other occasions, and of course, the 4th of July. Scaretti Pyrotechnics are proud supporters of Knights Athletics. Boom, baby! Smith, McQuiston, and Webster Funeral Home has proudly served the Fountain City area since 1886. From the time you walk up the steps, Funeral Director Keith Webster's goal is to carry forward the legacy of personal service established by the Smith and McQuiston families. Using modern technology and good old-fashioned attention to detail, we will strive to earn your confidence in us by treating families the way we think we would want to be treated. Smith, McQuiston, Webster Funeral Home. Rick, thank goodness somebody called time out because I am hungry.
I'm starved, Jerry. Hey, with 3 different Richmond locations and 1 in Hagerstown, there's a Subway sandwich shop near you.
And you can always order off the app for curbside pickup. The drive-thru's always open, and the way that I prefer it, I just like to walk in.
Here's your sub.
Listen, Subway, eat fresh.
Go Knights!
All right, we're back here at Knightline. This is our final show of the year, Jeff, season 2. You know, we'll probably be coming back next when school starts. Don't know the exact format. We always like to change things up. By the way, if you're willing to help, or you want to work on this show, or you want to work on the broadcast, we need all the help we can get. We're recruiting. We're always recruiting. So if you're good at shooting video, or you want to be a reporter and do interviews, you've seen the interviews that I do, we could definitely use the help because there's a lot of stuff going on, and it's hard to be everywhere. So the more hands we have helping, the better off we are. All right, let's shift gears now. Softball sectionals are going on as we speak at Union County. Before we talk about that, though, Jeff, we like to honor our seniors, and last week was senior night for the softball seniors. There's only one softball senior, that's Cameron McFarland. So we're going to honor her right now. So let's go to that video. All right, welcome back. Congratulations, Cameron, on a great career, not only in softball but in basketball. She, again, a senior. she's getting ready for graduation. Sectionals softball is here this week, so it's a busy time of year for these seniors who are playing a sport this time of year. All right, we have news, right, Jeff, from Union County. We have an update on that first game score. So what do we have for a score?
Well, Eastern Hancock has advanced. They beat Shenandoah 14-0.
Well, no surprise there.
No, not really.
Eastern Hancock is very strong.
They are.
All right, let's handicap that sectional. You got Eastern Hancock. I believe they won the regional last year.
They did.
And sectional defending champion Union County. They're playing as we speak, or getting ready to play.
They're getting ready to play.
And who are they playing? They're going to play Knightstown, okay? Right. They're on opposite ends of the bracket. I think we probably got to figure that they're, at this point, at least on paper, they're the favorites that
they
go
are.
to the championship.
Yeah, they are. Eastern Hancock owns a win over Union County. They beat them 8-6 at Eastern Hancock earlier in the year.
Right.
They also were moved in. They used to be in a different sectional.
Right.
When Centerville went to 3A, Eastern Hancock got moved in, and that's a pretty strong sectional.
Well, it actually is. All right, let's talk about our team around here. We got the Northeastern Knights. They're a very talented team. There's a lot. They finished the season 14-11. My guess would be, Jeff, that as you look back over the season, there's probably 3 or 4 ball games I'd like to have back.
Sure.
You know, every team's going to have that.
Every team wants that.
And but you know, for them to be competitive, we know who they're playing now. They're going to play Eastern Hancock. They played earlier in the year. They lost to the Royals 8-0. My observation with Eastern Hancock is they can hit.
Yes, they're a very good hitting team.
Yeah, they've got some sticks on that team. So what's the mentality? You've lost to this team once. What do the Knights have to do to go in there and make a run at it?
Well, they don't have anything to lose.
Yeah.
Because no one up there watching that game, except for the Northeastern fans, are going to think that they have a chance.
Okay.
Which plays in their favor. If they can play errorless ball and put the ball in play, not strike out, put the ball in play, make Eastern Hancock make plays, they have a shot.
Yeah. It's just like baseball. Defense.
You play defense, make the other guy play defense.
Yeah, you make the routine plays. If you put yourself, the killer in any, whether it's baseball, softball, the similarity there is unearned runs are the killers.
They are.
You put people on either by error or by walk. You know, they don't hit themselves on. Error or walk usually comes back to bite you. You know, at the worst time. So they got to play good defense.
Yeah, I honestly think softball's harder to play.
Those
girls that when they pitch, my goodness, they can do things with the ball that baseball players can't hit that.
Well, I'm not going in there and grabbing a bag.
I'm telling you, the NCAA's are going on. I watch as many of them as I can.
Yeah.
Those girls are impressive.
Yeah,
they really are.
They are good, and I'll tell you. It's a quicker game, too, than baseball because the field is shorter. Everything's shortened up. And if you don't field it cleanly, there's no way, if you got anybody running with speed, if you don't field that ball cleanly, you're not going to get them out at first.
Correct, yeah.
Because everything's shorter, okay? I don't know what the dimensions are, but everything's, it's not 90 feet.
60 feet baseline.
60 feet, okay.
Yep.
So what that does, it makes it a much quicker game, and it makes it a game where your reactions have to be spot on.
Yeah.
So, and it's fun to watch, though.
It is fun to watch.
And the girls are good.
They are good.
They really are.
I admire them.
I think our girls here at Northeastern, I think they're good. I think if their heads are in it, give it a run. What do you got? You got nothing to lose, right?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah, Eastern Hancock, they're high school kids just like you are,
Yeah.
and so go down there and play loosey-goosey. There's no pressure you got no pressure because the pressure's probably on Union County and Eastern Hancock. I've always believed the pressure's on the team that's favored to win.
I agree with that. And they'll both be looking forward the other.
They're definitely looking ahead.
Yeah, that's a mistake.
Yeah,
it's a mistake in a game like this.
The thing about softball, there's no pitch count.
No.
And those girls can throw. I don't know how their arms don't fall off, Jeff, because
it's a lot less pressure on the joints.
Yeah.
Than baseball.
Yeah, I'm watching them pitch and I'm hurting after about 3 innings, But they can throw, and you're going to throw your number one throughout the tournament.
Most likely.
More than likely. So, all right, the schedule there, and this is at Union County. Again, Eastern Hancock has already advanced. They'll play the Knights tomorrow night. I believe that is a 5 o'clock start, if I got that right. Knightstown, Union County is playing now, or they're getting ready to play. And Hagerstown's going to play the winner of that game. Okay, now Hagerstown's the team that they could put a good game together, potentially. But again, they're play loose. You never know what's going to happen.
Agreed.
And that championship game, this is a short time period. You're going to have that championship game. It's going to be 6 o'clock on Wednesday night. So if the Knights do win tomorrow night, and we're hoping they do, I'm hoping they go out there and leave it all out there. There's no sense. Run every ball out as like it's the last game of the World Series. What do you got to lose? You have nothing to lose by leaving it all out there. So do that. Let the chips fall where they may. And you never want to go, if you're an athlete at any level, on any sport, you never want to go after the contest is over and say, I could have given more. You don't want to be that person. So don't be that person. Get out there, and good luck to you guys. And maybe we're talking a championship on Wednesday night. It'd be great to see. Eastern Hancock's a great team. There's, let's face it. But that's why they play the game, Jeff.
The score of that game right now is 0-0.
Yeah, there's no runs on right now.
Eastern Hancock doesn't get any runs for being a defending regional champ.
They don't spot them 3.
Nope.
No. Okay, so there you go. We're starting out. Everybody's on the same page. All right, we're coming to the end. Track sectionals were last. Well, good luck to the girls, by the way. Okay, good luck to the Knights. Get out to the field tomorrow night. Be there, and hopefully we'll be going on Wednesday night. We'll see what happens, but I know these girls. They're competitive. They are good, and they want to win. They would relish the opportunity to beat Eastern Hancock, and then they would relish the opportunity to beat Union County if they got to that point.
Oh yes, I understand
That's the attitude you got to take. All right, we're coming down to the end here. Track sectionals were last week at Connersville. They run separate sectionals for the girls and the guys. And the Knights have, first of all, you have a granddaughter from Union County, and she's moving on to regional. So you tell us who is that? And what,
Katie McCashlin. She's my granddaughter, my oldest daughter's.
Yeah, she broke our heart in basketball. We remember that. So.
Yeah, she's a basketball player too. She advanced in the long jump.
Okay.
So she'll be tomorrow night. We'll be driving to Franklin to watch her.
Franklin, that's an Indy area school.
It is.
All right.
It is. So that's where all the Indy schools come down. The regional is something to see.
Well,
I mean, it's something to see.
That sounds like a tough regional.
It is a brutal regional.
Yeah. Well, that's what when we're right at the edge of the earth over here in eastern Indiana. That's what they do. They send you to the city, and that's where you're going. So for the Knights, we had several ladies qualify. Addie Mastriano, she's going down. I believe she was second in the shot put at the sectional, so she's heading down. KK Hogg in the 100 and 200 meter. I'm guessing she's fast.
I'm telling you, she's fast.
Yeah, she is fast because I have seen her run.
I have seen her run, and she's just a freshman.
Yeah, so she's got a long way to go. We also saw her in basketball, too, so it'll be interesting to see her develop her game on the court. She continues to do that. Marissa Cates, she won the sectional, both the 1600 and 3200. What can we say about Marissa? She's a senior. This is not unusual for her. She's defending champion in at least one of those events, maybe both. I'm not sure. So off the regional she goes again. She's a senior. She'll be going to IWU next year, and she'll be running there. So congratulations to Marissa. She's a great young lady, comes from a great family, quality individual, and she can run.
I've seen her run several times this year.
Yeah, she's been very consistent in cross country and distance running and track. So congratulations to her. And also 4x100 relay team. That's Addie Kircher, Ariel Schuler, Shauna Clark, and KK Hogg will anchor that team. They're also in that regional, so good luck to them. That regional is tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Franklin Community, which is an Indy area school. So you get out there. I believe they probably start at 6 o'clock or somewhere around there, maybe earlier. I'm not sure what time.
I'm not sure of the start time. My wife hasn't told me what time
All
they're
right.
leaving.
Well, your wife will tell you where you need
keeps
to be.
me in line.
She'll tell you where you need to be. So that's tomorrow night. And on the guys' side, Chase Cates, that's him and Marissa. They are twins. He came in either second or third in the 1600, but he's the champion, sectional champion, the 3200. Again, he's had a great career in cross country and track. Been very consistent ever since his freshman year. He's won a lot of these things, so he's very experienced. So he's going to go, and the 4x800 team of Logan Smith, Bryson McFarland, Lucas Shamness, and Nolan Drake, they are also headed to regional. That's Thursday night. I believe it's Greenfield Central. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm not either.
So, but they're headed there. Greenfield Central's not that far away if it's there. It was on the athletic page for the Knights. It was a little conflict with that. So I'm not sure exactly where they're going. So you can find that out. So good luck to you guys. We don't normally talk about middle school, but I've been asked. All right, we have some middle school tracksters. So I'm just going to give some results here. Trent Deloney, he's an 8th grader, and Hayden Nagel, she's a 6th grader. They competed at the middle school state meet at Indiana State. Okay, Hayden placed 18th in the 1600 meter run, and that's her PR. No, she's only in the 6th grade, and these kids were 6th to 8th grade, right? So that's a good performance for her.
It is.
And Trent competed in the 200 hurdles, and he was 5th place with a PR of 27:38. So we'll look forward to those guys as they get into high school. So congratulations to them. Last show of the year. Baseball sectionals are coming. You and I will be looking forward to that. It should be a lot of fun.
I'm excited. I love it. I love this time of year.
Weather should be sunny and 80 degrees. Let's hope, right?
Yep.
Let's hope that holds. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Again, tune into the baseball sectionals, or better yet, get out there. Go to softball tomorrow night at Union County. 5:30, the Lady Knights will play, or 5 o'clock. I'm not. Is it 5:30 or 5 o'clock?
I think it's 5:30.
Yeah, might be prepared for 5. It's probably 5:30. All right, they're going to play Easton Hancock. They need as many Knights fans as they can to get out there and watch that game. Well, this is our last Knightline of the year, so we're going to sign off. Jeff, thanks for coming.
I've enjoyed it.
We'll see you for the baseball sectional. And for my partner, Jerry Melton, my son, Nathan Fletcher, has been our executive producer. And this has been Knightline, and it's not only been a good night, but it's been a great season.